You got blown the fuck out.
I'm not a capitalist, but I seem to understand it a lot better than most people who call themselves one. Let me tell you how capitalism works, okay? Firms are owned by stockholders who appoint a CEO or chief executive officer to that corporation. It is the job of that CEO to maximize the profits of that company so as to benefit the stockholders. Does that make sense? So let me be perfectly clear about this. When a company supports a particular political movement, they are not doing it because they care about that particular political movement. They are doing it because they think they'll be able to make more money off of the virtue signal than they would be able to by staying silent or endorsing the opposition. Black Lives Matter is supported by the majority of Americans. Sorry. So when they say, we support Black Lives Matter and oppose racism, what they're doing is trying to bid for the approval and thus the money of the majority of the population. That's it. It has nothing to do with these corporations' actual ideological positions. When people like Tim Pool, whatever, Nazis, when they say, oh, these corporations all support BLM, you're the one stupid enough to take a corporation at your word. You're the one being the idiot. We don't believe that. When us lefties see fucking Hulu come out with a message saying, oh yeah, we stand up for Black Lives Matter. Dude, it's just another fucking company. They're just looking for their tax breaks, okay? We know they don't actually give a shit. Maybe they have like a TOS policy, like you can't type the N-word a bunch in like whatever messaging app they use on Twitter or whatever. That doesn't mean they give a fuck about any of this. It means they make more money from doing it. Why do TOS restrictions seem to keep coming down on conservatives harder than liberals? Because you people are terrible. And people don't want to be on social media platforms with you in it. It's that simple. The advertisers don't want to buy ads alongside people like you, and regular, normal human beings with functional brains and developed social skills don't want to be alongside people like you. That's why alternative social media like Gab, like Vote, like Telegram, are overwhelmingly dominated by Nazis who don't even like spending their time there, which is why they continue making alts on real social media sites. Even you guys don't want to be around you guys, okay? You're buying the corporate propaganda. When you boot up Call of Duty and before you get into a match, you see the little quote and it says Black Lives Matter and you're like, I can't believe Activision has bought into the culture war like this. Dude, do you seriously fucking think do you actually fucking believe Activision or Infinity Ward or whatever are like taking a side on this in a substantive, ideologically rooted way? When they make public statements about social causes, it's for virtue signaling. When people like Tim Pool or whatever imply that you are part of the establishment because your beliefs represent the majority, what they are failing to consider is the possibility that your beliefs can represent the majority but also be anti-establishment. That is possible. Please understand, if Joe Biden is elected our next president, everything you do and have to pay for will change completely. Everything will be increased, like paying a lot more in taxes, utilities, gasoline, groceries, new permits, fees and regulations, everything. This also means your rent will be increased to cover these expenses. Most likely, rent would double in price. If the current president is re-elected, we will not raise the rent for at least 2 years. Voting is your choice, and we are not telling you how to vote. We are just informing our tenants what we will do according to the election results. If Trump wins, we all win. If Biden wins, we all lose. I love it because it's so indicative. You know, first of all, it's like a fucking mob boss coming to your house, dude, like, hey, that's a pretty nice rent price you got there. Hey, it would be a shame if anything happened to it. Nah, I'm not telling you what you got to do. You don't have to vote Biden, Trump. I'm just saying that who knows what could happen to your rent price if Biden gets elected. I don't know. You know, it could double. I don't know. It's hard to say. I said, whoa, who knows, buddy? Oh, that daughter over there. Those teeth look a little bit crooked. You think you need braces? Braces are pretty expensive. You might want to save up some money. Wouldn't want to use it on rent. Listen, folks, here's a quick question to you. How do you know you're paying too much for a product? The problem is, under capitalism, there is no definite right price for a product. It's determined by market demand. But market demand is not purely influenced by supply and demand, and the available market forces in a hypothetical first-grade econ class market economy. In reality, the prices of a commodity are largely determined by tactics that producers will take to maximize the profit they make. An easy example of this is diamonds, for example. You have any idea how common diamonds are? If you dig down, Minecraft is real. If you just dig down for like half an hour, you will find diamonds. That's real. So at all points in time, all around the world, there are little Steves, usually child slaves, digging around, gathering up all the diamonds, and you know what they do? The De Beers, they throw them in a hole. They throw them in a hole, a big hole, and they put a little tarp over it. Big tarp, actually. That's how diamonds work. You know why you pay $1,000 for a little diamond? Because they want you to. Because they want to sell you it for more. But those actual diamonds really aren't that scarce. I mean, have you played Minecraft? They're all over the place.
So, what are you doing? You running for president?
True.
Yes.
What made you decide to do that? Aren't you busy enough? Clothing company, successful rapper, family man?
It was something that God put on my heart back in 2015. A few days before the MTV Awards, it hit me in the shower. And when I first thought of it, I just started like laughing to myself. And it like all this like joy came over my body, just through my soul. And I just felt that energy. I felt that spirit. So then 2 days later, I accepted the Michael Jackson Video Vanguard Awards at the MTV Awards. And instead of performing, my array of hit songs, I gave just my perspective on award shows. But always, I knew at the end I was going to tell people I'm running for office. I'm running for president in 2020.
Okay. I'm speaking here to people who genuinely were interested in Kanye's presidential run. I have to ask you, do you not feel it's a little disqualifying if you are asked what made you want to run for president, and the answer is, I was in the shower and a bolt of lightning from God struck me with inspiration, and I knew all of a sudden I had to do it? In my personal opinion, the correct opinion there, the non-disqualifying answer there, is because I wanted to make a change. I wanted to make a difference. The relationship between religiosity and the government is something that I am very, and always have been very skeptical of, because people who are deeply religious serve a higher interest than those of their citizens, and it makes me very suspicious as to what they want and what they believe. Secularism doesn't prevent you from doing bad things, but if nothing else, religion can be a handy tool in giving people the means to ignore what might otherwise be very reasonable attempts on the part of reality to reel you in somewhat. And I know that this answer is motivated in large part by mental illness. I am perfectly aware of that, chat. You do not need to keep reminding me. Thank you. I wonder, how many politicians have an identical thought process, but just don't say it out loud? How many politicians believe the exact same thing, that they're divinely ordained to have power and to rule over others, but they're just a little... Yeah, Pence 100% thinks that. When Donald Trump got COVID, wasn't there literally an article that said that Pence said God was preparing him to be president of the United States or something like that? I feel like this is actually a fairly common belief. The only difference here is that Kanye isn't well enough to hide it, which is maybe better? I don't know. I thought we could take a moment to appreciate something genuinely uplifting, and I know that sounds sarcastic, but I actually mean that. And it's that Ilhan Omar said poggers. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is this relevant? First of all, if I say Ilhan Omar has said poggers and your response is how is this relevant, you're a fucking loser. But there's an answer. How is this relevant? Well, to those of you who don't know, Ilhan Omar, along with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, recently played the game Among Us with a number of people, including Hassan Piker, who I'm very happy for. I think this actually marks a pretty incredible paradigm shift with regards to the relationship between politicians, media, and live streaming as a format. Live streaming is this breakout industry. It's getting really, really big, really, really quick. Every single year, the industry, it's almost like a exponential growth with regards to how many people watch live streams. I've been watching live streams since the beginning of live streams. Man, it's gotten so big. And every medium video games or live streaming or movies or whatever, is a medium that political figures can use to influence and contact the people they want to vote for them. And let's face it, people. The Republican Party is by and large the party of stuck-up evangelical dinosaurs who live fearfully in their suburbs with bars on their first and second floor windows because they're afraid a black man is going to jog 30 miles from the nearby downtown to rob them. This is a very sheltered demographic of people that has a moderate hold on the broader demographic, but is nonetheless not really representative of America. And what I see here is maybe the most inspiring instance of a politician humanizing themselves through a medium politicians typically ignore in my lifetime. And that is incredible. Because politicians are people. Some of them are lizard people, but they are nonetheless people. Ilhan Omar and AOC, at least in my opinion, are deeply impressive people. And to see them just have fun playing a game on a live stream goes a long way towards giving young people the impression that there is a reason to care about what goes on in Washington. Then you have somebody like Bernie Sanders, and Bernie Sanders never compromises, at least with regards to his personal politics. Dude got into the Senate as an independent, and I think that's one of the reasons why everyone just got so mad at Bernie Sanders. You know, Hillary Clinton said Bernie Sanders had no fans in the Senate. That makes sense to me. Can you imagine having lost your whole life, slowly being whittled down, having less and less faith in the system, and then somebody like Bernie Sanders shows up like a fucking alpha big dick Chad and just sits there and he's like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to sit in this chair for like 50 years and just every time you call on me, I'm going to tell you all how you're fucking over the working class. Like same language every time. I'm not going to change. I will die in this seat before I alter my perspective on the world one iota. Like, that's got to frustrate some people.
Oh, this debate has been a long time coming. I've been hearing a lot about you, a lot of hubbub. Hopefully, you're half what people have made you out to me as. So I'll go ahead and fetch the contention. I relayed it to one of your mods, Hyena. So.
Leon Trotsky said, "We must turn Russia into a desert populated by white Negroes upon whom we shall impose a tyranny such as the most terrible European despots never dreamed of. The only difference is that this will be a left-wing tyranny and not a right-wing tyranny. It'll be a red tyranny, not a white one. We mean the word red literally because we will shed blood, so on and so forth." Okay, wait, hold on.
Also,
I would be extremely
well,
surprised if this quote was real. Are you fucking kidding me?
But I mean, if you read Trotsky's autobiography, My Life, you can see, I think it's around page 236, Trotsky states that a Mr. M, or I think he called him Mr. X, I forget the letter that he used, but he refused to reveal the banker's name. He was a very wealthy New York banker. He gave him, as well as various other people, many millions of dollars. Now,
This quote goes on to say that he wants to teach Russians to hate themselves. This is ridiculous. This is clearly a fake quote made by somebody who wants to associate communism with Jewishness, showing that even back then. Wait, hold on. Wait.
So, apparently proof that it's a fake quote, though. You're saying it's fake, so that's fine, but just what evidence do you have?
Can you provide like a historical document or a direct writing?
That's a question. I'm asking you a question. You're saying this is fake, which is fine. You can say that. However, I assume that you have some sort of basis, some sort of
I'll be more specific. This quote is so fucking ridiculously adherent to what a neo-Nazi would write about Leon Trotsky that I do not believe it is likely he actually wrote it, and I would need a greater burden of proof in order to believe it's real.
Okay.
If this is a real quote, then you should have no trouble procuring a legitimate historian or historical document which has this quote within it.
Okay, right. So you've said a lot there. We need to go ahead and address all of these different things. So you said a legitimate historian. Now, a legitimate historian by what standard? I assume that you're going to go ahead and say something that I would consider legitimate, which is an impossible burden for me to meet because it's entirely dependent upon you. So, you choose what is acceptable to you, and I choose what's acceptable to me.
If every source which has this quote within it is somebody who has far right writings, I think that's wait. Hold on. I'm not. Please, my friend, my good friend, my beautiful friend. Hello? My Jew-loving friend. We're all Jew lovers here, right?
No, Vosh, I'm trying to be courteous to you, okay?
I don't care if Trump doesn't like black people, Jackson said on social media. 62% are you out of your fucking mind? I don't want to be 20 cent. 62% is a very, very bad idea. Okay, now let's pause here for a second, okay? Now, first of all, I appreciate the fact that even an exorbitantly wealthy man like 50 Cent has no fucking idea how tax brackets work. It's actually insane to me. Let me explain really quickly. Nobody knows how this works, okay? Nobody knows. I don't know. In America, I have no idea how this works, okay? When you're born, they do a fucking MRI scan of your brain. And if they detect the gene that allows you to know how tax brackets work, they fucking gut you and they throw you into the trash can outside, okay? More people die through that process than they do through abortions or whatever, okay? It's insane. Like, nobody in America. I have no idea. It's insane. Like, we purge all these people. This is how tax brackets work, okay? Are you fucking ready for it? Okay? Basically, you have a bunch of lines like so, and these are called tax brackets. Okay, you like that? Tax brackets. Are you ready for it? So the way this works is that, let's say this one is 10K, this one's 30K. Oh, we're struggling with the mouse. 60, 60K. Let's go. 100K. And that's enough. That's enough for a demonstration, okay? Now we get it, all right? The way this works, a tax bracket works by taxing you for your income based on the income you make within that bracket. So if you make, so let's say, let's give this all percentage. Let's keep it easy, okay? 10%, 20%. Oh man, that one was struggling. Oh God, it's getting worse. My fucking mouse skills are getting worse. So the way this works, guys, let's say you make $9,000 a year. How much do you pay in taxes? Answer. Come on. Chat delays on low. Get to it soon. That's right. Fucking nothing. You pay nothing because you haven't met even the lowest bracket for income taxes. Now, let's say you make exactly $20,000 a year, which means that $10,000 of your income passes the lowest bracket. How much do you pay in taxes per year? I see people in chat saying 2,000. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. It's 1,000. You pay 1,000. You pay 1,000 a year because even if you're making 20K, only 10K of that is in the bracket. Only 10K of it gets taxed at 10%. Okay? If you make 30,000 a year, then you have 20K that's in the bracket, and then you have 2,000 that's being taxed. Okay? Let's say you make $100,000 a year. You ready for some fucking math, baby? Okay? I'm the Joker. You're making $100,000 a year. How much do you get taxed for? Okay? Do you get taxed $40,000 because that's 40% of $100,000? No, you fucking moron. You do not. You get taxed, 10% of this 20K. You get taxed 20% of this 30K. And you get taxed 30% of this 40K. And actually, if it was 100K a year, it would stop right here. It wouldn't have gone above this bar right here. So ignore this part. This last part right here doesn't exist. Don't shh. So if you're making $100,000 a year, that would actually mean you get taxed $2,000 for this, and then you get 20% for that. So that would be that'd be $6,000. So $8,000 total, and then for the last bit, you have 30% tax at the remaining 40K. So you pay $20,000. You would pay $20,000 if you made $100,000 a year. 20% of your total income, not 40%. See, look at that. You ended up paying half. You ended up paying a fifth instead of 2/5. That's crazy. Now, do you remember Tucker Carlson talking about how the deep state intercepted a package of his, that it was sent through FedEx and it was found open and the documents were only recovered later, that some entity, some sinister force, had torn into a collection of documents which contained irrefutable proof that the Biden crime family was up to no good? Well, you'll be happy to hear we have a sound conclusion to that saga. Here, I'll leave it to you. Take a look.
We haven't brought to you, and we're not going to, and we should tell you why. One is the obvious answer. He's not running for president.
I'm actually surprised he knew that. From what I've seen from right-wing media sources over the past month, you actually would think that Hunter Biden was the presidential candidate for the Democrats. I'm actually surprised he knew that.
The point is, pounding on a man, jumping on, piling on when he's already down is something that we don't want to be involved in.
That is so interesting. Because Tucker Carlson and the rest of right-wing media have just been relentless in piling on Hunter Biden. And this, I'm not ascribing specifically to Tucker Carlson the behavior of other people. Tucker Carlson has been dumping on Hunter Biden relentlessly. And now all of a sudden, we don't publish all these documents. We don't want to dig around in the scandalous details of his personal life. We here at Tucker Carlson Incorporated feel nothing but sympathy for the plight of this fallen man struggling with his demons, but still good at heart. What an interesting change of pace for somebody who has been pretty much following the conservative line, which has been to distract from President Trump's failures, distract from the fact that we're now currently in a third COVID-19 wave. We have broken records for cases per day. We have no national plan whatsoever how to deal with this. We have no plan whatsoever for reopening. We have no plan for the economy. That Trump is a failure of a candidate in every conceivable way. Distract, distract, distract. How do we distract? We talk about Hunter Biden, but now Tucker's backing off, apparently disinterested in sharing any more information about Hunter Biden. What could have happened to have led to such a dramatic change of pace? Well, I introduce you to a 64-page NBC expose revealing that the purported leak from Hunter Biden's laptop and the information within can be traced back to a far-right conspiracy document which was founded by a non-existent person working for a non-existent intelligence agency. Folks, you can't make this up.